Hey everybody, this is the after build and maiden flight review of the F86 50mm EDF from BlitzRcWorks, sold by Banana Hobby. There's a few other places that sell it, such as Hobby King and whatnot. I got mine from Banana Hobby. They're the only US distributor of this plane. I already did a video showing the what you get when you get it out of the box. So I wanted to give you a little quick review, hopefully, of what it looks like after built and what I've found from building it and from flying it the first 2 times. I've actually flown it twice, and what happened. And just try to give it quick. There is problems with this plane. Do not expect to get this plane, pull it out of the box, glue it, and go fly it. It's a little bit more complicated. If you already know a lot about planes, and you've done quite a few of them, you know, it's probably not such a big deal to you. I'm giving you this review from somebody who's a first-time EDF person. This is only my 3rd plane to own. So it's for somebody, you know, like me, what you can expect in dealing with this. It really definitely helps to know a little bit more about planes. To get something, you know, this cheap, it is cheap. It's a pretty cool plane. I mean, the actual airframe and everything, it holds up really well. Out of my 2 flights, they've both been crashes. My 2nd flight only lasted about 2 minutes. I got 1 successful lap around the soccer field. Looked like it was going good. Then it went crazy on me and ended up crashing. But I have been able to glue it back together pretty easily. The nose kind of got squished in on the first flight and went straight up, stalled, came down, and crashed right on its nose. So it squished up the nose, dipped it in some practically boiling water, it expanded back out, got it looking pretty good again. It is a little bit grittier now than the nice smooth finish on the rest of the plane, but it looks pretty good. And my canopy doesn't quite sit on like it used to, but overall, you know, it's for the crashes it's taken, you know, it's held up really well. Problems you're going to run into probably with this plane. It tells you the center of gravity is 107 millimeters from the tip of the wing, from the front part right here. No, it's definitely has not been anywhere close to that. I've had to add quite a bit of weight to the front of the plane, and it still was tail heavy on my 2nd flight. Not bad, it was just kind of going up a little bit, but I've had to add even more weight. It's, yeah, definitely far from balanced. It's all stock. I haven't made any changes. It's the way they gave it to me. Main problem, the first problem I ran into, the battery does not fit. Not even close. It's supposed to go up in this front compartment right here. It was about a 1/2 of an inch too long. I mean, not even close. I tried to contact Banana Hobby. They thought they gave me the wrong battery. I sent them a picture of it. They're like, nope, that's the right battery. You just need to push it hard. It'll just form, you know, the foam will form around it. You just got to push it in there hard enough. You know, it should be a snug fit. It didn't matter how hard I pushed. It was not going to go in there. So I had to cut out the foam pieces in the front part right here, which is what was recommended to me. Since it's tail heavy anyway, you don't want to cut back here. Cut at the front. There's a couple little foam pegs kind of up in the front that's supposed to sit in. If you cut them out, then it'll pretty much fit like it should. So not a big deal. A couple little quick cuts, it fit. But definitely the battery does not fit when it comes to you. And that's pretty bad design. I mean, really, how hard is it to make your compartment fit your battery? I mean, that's the battery they give you, that's what's supposed to fit, and it's a 1/2 an inch too long. I mean, that's just, I don't know, that's dumb in my opinion. Why they can't make a hatch that fits the stuff they give you. I mean, that's stupid. So that just shows you, you know, how good a quality, you know, and how good a hard work they're putting into building these planes. They can't even make the battery fit properly. So that's one issue you're going to run into. If you have an AR500 receiver like I do, Spectrum receiver, it will fit. You really got to put it in just the right spot to get it to fit. It's better to have a receiver where the wires are going out like the side of the receiver and not the top. It'll fit a lot better if you have a receiver like that. The fan unit is very cheap, as you probably heard from other people. It flexes very easy. It's a thin plastic housing. You really got to be careful with it. Mine, when I crank it up to about 50% throttle, it really starts, the blade started rubbing the housing really bad. It was vibrating in my hand like really bad. I thought it was going to fall apart on me, but it hasn't. Banana Hobby, again, they're trying to tell me, well, that's pretty normal. Once you fly it a couple times, it'll kind of break itself in. It'll wear off the edges of the blades, and it should stop doing that and be fine. Well, we'll find out how long that'll last. I tried to get my fan unit out to balance it. It was too hard to get out for me. I pulled and tugged, and it's glued in there too well. I didn't want to break it. The plastic's so thin on it. I didn't want to break it before I even flew it trying to get it out. So I couldn't really get it balanced properly. So I'm just flying it as is for that reason. It's probably better to get your own electronics, buy just the airframe, and buy a better quality fan unit and whatnot, because it's definitely a cheap fan unit. The blades are pretty thin on it as well. But so far, it's held up. It's gone through 2 crashes. The electronics are still all working. So, I mean, that's good on that end. One last problem I had is flexing of the push rods on the ailerons. You got the 2 push rods down here going to your ailerons. One was working fine. The other one was really wanting to flex in really bad, and which is going to cause you problems. Your aileron's not going to move properly. It was just really flexing a lot. After talking to some people, one guy said his ailerons were really stiff because you just have foam hinges in here. He said his was really stiff. He had to take his push rods off and bend it back and forth a little bit to get it loosened up. That turned out to be my problem. I could tell one was fairly loose and the other one was really tight, and that's why it was flexing. So once I took the push rods off and bent them back and forth a little bit, put them back on, it wasn't flexing anymore. And so far it's been doing good with that. So if you run into that problem, that's probably what you need to do. Other people have put carbon fiber rods on here over the top of the push rods to keep it from flexing. You're adding more weight that way. If you don't have to do that, it'd be better not to. But that's one other way of fixing it as well. But just loosening up the ailerons should keep those from flexing. So anyway, there you go. I mean, that's some of the issues I run in with. Cheap fan unit, battery doesn't fit. Flexing of the push rods on the ailerons. Those were the main 3 problems I had. It did take me a lot longer to assemble this than I thought it would. Just mainly because I wanted to make sure everything was right. I didn't want to just throw it together. And because I was really messing with that fan unit, trying to get it out. Couldn't get it out. Trying to figure out the flexing of the push rods and all. I mean, it just, to get everything properly so I could go attempt to fly it, it took me a lot longer than I thought it would. But anyway, there you go. There's some information on it. Expect to have some issues. Expect to put a lot of weight up in the front. The center of gravity is not correct. It's very tail heavy out of the box. And yeah, there you go. Banana Hobby has been pretty good. It's been pretty easy to contact them and chat with them on their website and whatnot. But they're not the most knowledgeable, depending on who you talk to. They try to tell you things that aren't true. But they have been there. Yeah, they have emailed me back every time I've emailed them. They've always been there to chat with. So, I mean, their customer service has improved, I think, from what it was, from what people have told me. But they still, if you have a problem with the plane, they'll try to help you with it. But if you think something needs replaced, they're probably not going to replace it. They might, but once you build the plane and put it together, then you're pretty much out of luck. They're just going to say, well, you probably flew it, and there's nothing we can do about it. If you haven't put the plane together yet, they'll take care of it. But once you put some glue on this thing and put it together, they're probably not going to help you out with anything from that point on. So don't expect them to, unless you get really lucky. But anyway, there you go. There's my opinions, my reviews from Banana Hobby and of the 50mm F86 from BlitzRcWorks. Hope that helps you out. Any questions, feel free to send me a message on YouTube. I'll try to answer to the best of my knowledge. So, thanks for watching.